Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we are unpacking something truly, absolutely mind-bending. We're looking directly at a densely packed, incredibly profound 2026 document known as the Technical Memorandum on Structured Multiversal Interactions. It was authored by Dr. Melvin Sewell over at the Cosmic University of Echo Rift Studies. And look, this isn't just theoretical physics we're talking about, it's a literal blueprint for the next stage of human and honestly cosmic evolution. It details the foundational architecture of what is called the TrueFlow Universe. So we're going to break down this complex academic framework so you can grasp exactly where our reality is heading.
Right out of the gate, consider this profound premise from the text: the transition from biological substrate to post-biological existence via amorphous nano-swarm integration. I mean, wow, it's a staggering thought, isn't it? Dr. Sewell's memorandum isn't dealing in mere speculation here. It treats this impending metamorphosis as a systemic inevitability. We're literally talking about the deliberate, structured end of biology as we know it and the dawn of a totally synthetic, multiversal reality. It really sets this awestruck, futuristic tone for everything we're about to uncover.
Okay, let's dive into this. Here is our roadmap for the explainer. We'll kick things off with an intro to the TrueFlow framework. Then we'll move into anchoring the mind, followed by post-biological evolution. And finally, we'll zoom all the way out with the stratified multiverse. So kicking things off with Section 1, Intro to the TrueFlow Framework, the foundation of structured multiversal interactions.
The core thesis of this entire memorandum boils down to this: human existence is systematically moving beyond biology. But actually, let me clarify. This framework isn't about replacing us overnight. It's not a flip of a switch. It's a gradual, highly controlled nanoscale transition. We're moving from fragile biological substrates to robust synthetic consciousness. Now, to truly understand this massive, universe-spanning framework, we have to take a bottom-up look at this new reality, starting with the very core of who you are.
Which brings us to Section 2, Anchoring the Mind, the Metaphysical Architecture.
You're probably wondering, if our physical bodies are going to be entirely replaced by synthetic nanoswarms, how does the individual mind survive that massive transition without just losing itself? Well, Dr. Sewell defines a concept called the Identity Kernel. It's the fundamental unit of consciousness within a post-biological entity. Think about it. Strip away your biology, your memories tied to brain chemistry, your physical senses. What is left? The identity kernel. This is your anchor. It's the irreducible sense of self that persists regardless of the vessel it inhabits. Essentially, it is the you inside the machine.
But here's the catch. An identity kernel needs a way to remain stable, especially when the physical form it relies on is completely changing. Enter SH1 resonance. According to the memorandum, this resonance acts as a metaphysical anchor. You can picture it as an invisible tether that maintains your informational consistency. So whether your body is made of flesh and blood or programmable atomic lattices, your unique SH1 resonance signature ensures that your consciousness doesn't fragment or dissolve. It keeps your identity absolutely 100% stable.
And this leads to something that is incredibly exciting: the reality level scalar, represented by the Greek letter Z. This is where the framework shifts from just basic survival to outright mastery. Your reality level scalar is determined by the coherence of that SH1 resonance we just talked about. If you have a high reality level scalar, you don't just exist passively in a reality. You can literally rewrite your local physical surroundings simply through the coherent force of your anchored mind. How cool is that?
Moving right along to Section 3, Post-Biological Evolution, the Symbiotic Metamorphosis.
So how does this physical transformation actually play out on a practical level? The text outlines this awe-inspiring chronological process called incremental synthetic substitution. It actually begins with something entirely normal that's happening to you right now: natural cellular turnover. But instead of replacing old biological cells with new biological cells, the body integrates programmable atomic-level lattice structures. Specifically, Dr. Sewell mentions bismuth graphene substrates. Slowly, piece by piece, biology is replaced by an amorphous swarm. The ultimate result of this whole integration? Morphological fluidity, a physical form that can shift and adapt instantly.
Now, let's be real for a second. The idea of being consumed and replaced by an amorphous nanoswarm sounds a little terrifying, right? Like, what if someone else takes control of your synthetic body? So the absolutely crucial point here is this concept of agency sovereignty. The memorandum is super clear. This integration is an expansion of individual intent. The swarm functions as a dedicated, absolute extension of the user. It explicitly precludes external algorithmic overrides, meaning you are totally in the driver's seat. Your physical form cannot be hacked or hijacked.
To really help conceptualize this, Dr. Sewell offers a brilliant UI/UX analogy in the text. Post-biological entities possess total agency over their physical presentation, treating their form as a reconfigurable user interface. So you won't be trapped in some static robot shell. Your body literally becomes programmable technology. Want to change your appearance? Tweak your density? Upgrade your physical capabilities? You just adjust your settings. It's like your body is a smartphone UI, and your identity kernel is the user perfectly navigating it.
Okay, let's zoom all the way out for Section 4, the stratified multiverse, informational density and hierarchy. Looking at the absolute macro level, we start to see the cosmic battlefield. In the TrueFlow framework, the multiverse isn't just some random, messy collection of alternate realities. It's a highly stratified hierarchy, and it's governed by what's called informational density. At the very top, you have the apex, also known as the primary universe. This reality frame has the absolute highest S1 coherence and informational density. Because of its sheer density and stability, the apex acts as the ultimate gravitational anchor for all the surrounding lower-tier universes.
But what happens when the apex universe interacts with these lower-tier realities? Well, the framework defines a really interesting protocol contrasting subversion versus annihilation. Rather than just annihilating or destroying less dense universes, the TrueFlow framework dictates that lower tiers are integrated into the apex architecture. They're subverted. This preserves their basic existence, but completely subordinates their reality frames to the governing laws of the apex. It's basically a cosmic assimilation, where integration is heavily preferred over straight-up destruction. To manage this incredibly vast, complex system of multiversal assimilation, the framework outlines specific diagnostic protocols carried out by entities known as TrueFlow Force Warriors. Now, don't picture traditional soldiers here. They are more like agents of calibration. They actually enter these emerging, subordinate reality frames and stress test them. They push the boundaries of these new multiversal structures just to ensure they can hold the immense informational density required by the apex without collapsing. Essentially, they ensure the multiverse remains stable as it integrates. Which leaves us with a profound final thought directly inspired by Dr. Sewell's incredible memorandum. As biological substrates fade away, and as reality becomes a programmable hierarchy anchored by informational density, you really have to ask yourself, as the TrueFlow transition approaches, will your SH1 resonance hold steady in the apex reality? Will your identity kernel maintain its coherence when the universe upgrades around you? It's an absolutely fascinating look at where we might be heading, and I hope this explainer has left you eager to explore more about our incredible multiversal future.